But at that time, it's not the easiest thing to accept. I know.
Exactly. But if you really take on the approach that life is happening to you, you look forward to the good that you find in it.
So if you were starting again a year later, would you do anything differently?
Would I do anything differently? That's a good question. Um, that's an excellent question. I think that I probably would have done more networking prior to getting into this.
That's interesting. I'd like to get your viewpoint on that because there are people who hate networking. I mean, they just don't like to go out and meet people. They don't like to go to events and give out business cards. They feel like sometimes people, are just kind of looking through them, that they're not really interested in who they are if they can't do business with them. And they just feel like, oh, gosh, not again. So what is your feeling on networking?
Okay, so first of all, Dr. Gail, let me clarify. I didn't say I love networking.
Okay. Okay, that's one answer, right? It's the necessary evil, I guess.
Exactly. Exactly. So, but yes, I know exactly that. But the approach that I've found, because I went through that ordeal myself, I had quite a few months of feeling that networking was more of an effort than I now realize it has to be. And I think if you come from the perspective of I'm just here to get to know people, you don't put the pressure of business on it. And I think that's what really happens. A lot of people, they go into networking events thinking I have to get a client, I have to get the next opportunity wrapped up. But if you really take it from the perspective of I'm here to really just connect with people, it really puts it in a more relaxed state for you.
Well, that's true. And I think too that the realization that they always say it takes what 5 or 6 or 7 yeses before you make a sale. It takes 5 or 6 or 7 contacts before you really form a relationship with someone. If you're meeting them for the first time and the only time at a meeting and you never go back or you never cultivate that relationship or you don't have lunch or you don't communicate in some way, you probably aren't going to have a relationship and you probably aren't going to be able to get business out of it. But if you take the time, you take the patience to get to know somebody and you do cultivate that, then good things happen. And it's interesting because the problem is when most people go into business, and you can certainly give me some feedback on this, when you're in business for the first year, you're really groveling to try to get clients, whatever business you're in.
Mm-hmm.
And so you don't want to take the time to get to know somebody. You want to go to a meeting and you want to get business out of it. And it does take that time. That's the reason they say that you really have to have almost a year's worth of savings saved up so that you can go into business without the pressure on you. But it does take that amount of time to form relationships. Now, I don't know how that has been for you.
Oh, you have definitely hit it on the head. Same story. And I also went in with that degree of preparation as well. Like when I took that leap, I had security behind it. So it's been the same journey that you described.
Oh,
And
that's wonderful. That's great.
it does take time. That patience factor, knowing that you're there just to connect with people, and you make it grow organically in a sense. You end up having solid relationships and solid business relationships later on down the road.
So you said that you wish you had done networking earlier, and now you've got people that you are coaching. And what is the best way to get referrals from them? Because we all know whatever business you're in, whether it's coaching or selling specialties or having a bakery or whatever it happens to be, referrals are the best. You don't have to sell referrals. They are kind of sold before they even get to you. So what is your best way of getting referrals?
Well, I think that if you have first of all, the best is when the referral is happening and you don't even know it. Without the effort, someone is talking about you and probably even gives you gives you as a gift to someone else, which has happened before. But I think if you allow the person who is giving the referral to also benefit from that, whether it's through a percentage off, their next interaction with you, or just something that makes it worthwhile for them as well, that helps.
Well, that's great. That's wonderful. I mean, that's the important thing. So I've asked you a lot of questions, but I know you must have some last thoughts that you'd like to leave our audience with. So what are some of the things that we haven't discussed about that you would like our audience to know?
I think what it comes down to, because I truly am all about living your life on purpose, not by accident, because I think a lot of people are going through the motions today and they're not enjoying life. I have clients who are successful, as I mentioned, and the last time that they really experienced immense joy was like a year or two ago. And that it just should not be the case. So that it's my mission to help people design the life that they love. And
boy, that really is a key point, Deborah. I mean, that so many people are not living a life of joy. I can't even imagine getting up and not having a joyful day. So that's wonderful. Go ahead. I didn't want to interrupt you, but I just think that's such an important point.
Oh, I agree. And it hits every time I hear like those numbers, like a year, 2 years. When was the last time you laughed? You had a gut laugh. It's really telling about the state we're in, that, we are truly going through the motions. And so it's really my mission to help people get out of that rut. And I came across a saying that I totally love. And it's the best way to predict your future is to invent it.
Oh, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. Yeah.
That just hit home. It's like it really falls into the bigger quote that I have for my company, which really talks about, no one can go back and, create a new start, but you can start today and create a new ending. You can start today and create the life that you want starting today. And
well, now, how can people get in touch with you, Deborah?
Well, my email address is Deborah, DEBORAH, at Optimal, OPTIMAL, LEAP, optimalleap.com. And,
fantastic. And your website?
www.optimalleap.com. 2 L's.
Fantastic. Well, people should see your smiling face, first of all, because you're a beautiful woman and you've taken a wonderful background of good corporate America and now turned it into a life coaching program that I think people would really benefit from. And the fact that you say, and I believe, even though it's a quote from someone else, that you can invent your own future and design it now. That is so key. And I'm so happy that you said that, because it's a great way to end the show. And I really am happy that we had a chance to be with you today, Deborah. So everybody, this is the way you get a hold of Deborah. You go to Deborah, DEBORAH, at Optimal Leap, OPTIMAL, and then again, LEAP.com. That's her website, optimalleap.com. I want to thank you so much for being with us today, Deborah. I wish you only the most wonderful successes in the future, and we'll look forward to seeing you again in the future.
Thank you, Dr. Gale. It's been a pleasure.